All right, so in this video, we are going to implement the favorite feature, and we are also going to view wallpaper, like the main view screen when you click on each of them on the home screen or on the favorite screen, right? So as you can see in the previous videos, like we did the favorite screen UI, but we did not like fetch the data from Firebase, right? So that's what we are going to be doing in this section. So the first thing I want to do, I just want to create like the favorite model. Okay, so we have the we are going to go to our favorites. I think we have favorites here. I'm going to create the let's just call this model.dat, right? So for the favorite, it's just going to have like, so let's say we have this, so we're going to have like the ID, okay, more like the ID of the favorite item. We're also going to have like the wallpaper. So here we're going to change the name to favorite model. All right, so copy this and we are going to go back to our favorite screen. So we're going to paste it here, and yeah, so we have our wallpaper image just created. We also have our ID. So what will happen here is that once we fetch the favorites, we are going to display this image, and when you tap on it, we are going to display the view wallpaper screen, right? And then we'll pass the ID. All right, so this is it. So when users tap, they need to go to the view wallpaper screen, because at the moment we have not done that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create that view wallpaper screen. So let's go to the home screen, right? So inside here I'm going to have this view, right? So inside here I'm just going to return like a normal scaffold, but before that I need to create like so many constructors, right? I need to create a constructor to accept the URL, more like the wallpaper image, and we're also going to create a constructor to accept wallpaper ID, category name, local, if the file is local. So it's local is more like when users is coming from the download screen, right? We need to have like is local. We need to have another one to show favorite icon. Okay, so by default it's going to be false, and also his favorite is also going to be false. So I'm just going to create that here. And so moving on, we are now going to add, like, we are going to create the body for the screen. So the first thing I want to do here is to create a scaffold widget, right? So inside the scaffold we are going to create, like, let me just say an app bar, right? We have to create the app bar here. So basically just going to have like a title that says, it's a test widget actually. So the title is just going to be like the widget dot category name of that particular wallpaper, okay, because we are already passing it from the constructor. So we are now going to add a color of white to this. Make sure it's imported. All right, so close this and save. All right, so now I've not really done anything. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to the route screen, right, where I'm going to like create the view wallpaper view. So what I'm going to do is to go, let's say we have our routers, right? So inside here, since I don't have the view wallpaper, I'm going to quickly create it here. So let's just copy this, duplicate it, and we're going to give it a name that says I think view wallpaper, right? All right, so inside here, this is already in block form. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the state. So we're going to say data equal to state.extras, and this is definitely going to be a map. Okay, then inside here, what I'm going to do now, because we already have the view wallpaper screen, I'm going to set that. Now you can see a lot of errors, right? So the first thing we are going to do is the URL. So we are going to get it from the map, which is data, and then we can just say wallpaper URL. Okay, I've successfully added all of them, like what the map will look like. Okay, so when we are navigating from the home screen to those other screens, so let's assume now that we are in the home screen, right? When you tap, something needs to happen. So what I'm going to do now, let's go to our home screen. For instance, I know we want to implement favorites for this, so but I just want to set up some few things so everything will be easier. Okay, so inside our home screen, so what we are going to do, I'm just going to create a map, right? Simple map object. So what is going to happen here, this is going to be like the payload, and we're going to pass the wallpaper URL. Make sure that this stuff matches what we have in our router, right? Make sure it matches the keys. Okay, so we are going to pass the wallpaper image show icon. So I think this show icon, let's see what it means. I think I'm just going to go one step forward. This show icon is more like show favorite icon, right? So it's going to be true, right? Because we are coming from the screen, right? But if we are coming from favorites, we don't need to show the icon. We are going to set it to false. So we are also going to set the category image and the wallpaper ID. All right. So next we are going to do contest.push. Okay, and this is going to be view wallpaper, right? And then we can now pass the extra, which is going to be the payload. Cool. So while we have done this, we are going to do hot restart, and then I can close this up, and now I can now go back to the view wallpaper screen. So inside this view wallpaper screen, we can now click, and when we click, you can see it's showing the category of the image, right? The wallpaper, you can see the category is showing. So now what we are going to do now is to display this image, and after we display it, we'll be able to add to favorite and then do other things. So and then fetch the favorite items here, right? Update the favorite items and do a lot of things. So what is going to happen here now, we are going to go to the view screen, right? What I'm going to do, I'm just going to create an action. So we need to be able to like see the favorite icon. Okay, so inside here I'm going to check check icon. Okay, icon button, and we have our unpressed, right? And save that, and if we click, you can see now the favorite icon is showing. So the next thing I'm going to do here now is just to add some styling to it, but for now let's just leave the styling. But okay, let's say we add it, give it the primary color, right? All right, so just leave it. This is what is going to show when it's favorited, right? When users have clicked to make it favorite. So moving on, we are going to create the view, how the widget is going to look. So here, remember we have this is local file, right? Is local, right? So what we are going to do here is in our body, right? We are going to like create, let's just use our body here. I have like a container because I want to add a decoration to the container where we can show the image. So we have a decoration here. We can have like our box decoration, and we have image, okay, and we have the decoration image, right? So the image now, because we have is local, so that is local means we are coming from download screen, and users have already downloaded that wallpaper, so we don't need to use network image, rather we need to use file image, right? So if it's local, I'm going to use file image here, okay, and then I can just say file, right? Then I can pass the widget.url. But if it's not local, let's say it's coming from recent or favorite, we are going to use cache network image provider, and then we can pass the image.url. And do not forget to make this, let's just use something like as image provider. Okay, we just have to cast it. Now you can see now it's displaying as it should be. All right, so let's use fit. Let's set the fit property here to be, all right, this is not looking cool. Let's say fit. Okay, let's say box fit dot cover. All right, but you can see now the app bar is still showing. I want it to extend everywhere, so what I'm going to do here is body behind app bar, and we are going to set it to true. So you can see now it's going to cover the whole screen. Cool. So this is looking, it's taking shape gradually, right? And everything is looking perfect. So so the next thing I want to do, I want to also work on this favorite. If we are coming from what is it called? If we are coming from downloads, we don't need to show favorite. So I need to check here if widget dot is not favorite, right? If it's not favorite item, then we can just go ahead and show the. If it's not local, like if it's not coming from downloads, then fine, we can just show the favorite item. Okay, then moving on, I need to like set up something else, more like a stack. So we need to like have two buttons here to apply, and also another button to download, right? So I'm going to quickly create that. And so what I'm going to do now to get that done is to add a child to this guy, and that child is going to be like, let's just say we are using stack because I want to like move it to the bottom. Okay, so inside here now I'm going to add like let's say we have our positioned, right? So in the child we have our role, we have the children. Okay, so the first child of the role is going to be a test form feed, a test button rather, and we have our unpressed. Okay, and right here what I'm going to do now, this is more like the button to apply wallpaper, right? So I'm just going to like create that test widget with the apply test. Okay, so save it. Now it's not really showing as it's supposed to. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add some positions. I'll add bottom 50, left 30, and right to be 30 as well. Okay, so save it. It's going to move it now to the bottom. You can see the apply wallpaper is showing. So now we need to like add some styling to our button, right? Remember the one we did for the logout button. So we are just going to like have that same thing here, right? So save it up. You can see our apply wallpaper is showing as it should be. Cool. So now the next thing that we are going to do here now, just separate this guy with comma so that it will be properly formatted, right? Then we are going to have like an icon. For this, I think I can just use a floating action button to just add that, you know, download kind of icon to this, right? So what I'm going to do here now is to add a width of, let's say width 20, right? So just give it some space. Then I'm going to check if the if we are not coming from downloads, right? If the widget dot is not local, right? What I'm going to do now is to return a floating action button. All right, so we are now going to have the child here, which is going to be icons dot download. Okay, so save it. You can see now it's showing, but it's not really showing normal, so it's too big. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use mini. I'm going to use the mini property, set it to mini, and now you can see it's small and it's looking the same height with our apply button. Cool. So here I'm going to give it a style. I think this looks good. Well, let's see how colors the primary is going to look. All right, this also looks good. It's not bad, right? Yeah, none of them are bad. So let's just stick with primary. Okay, so inside here I'm going to set the background color for this. Let's say background color dot white. Cool. It's not looking bad as well. So, and I want this apply wallpaper to take more space. So what I'm going to do here is to wrap this stuff with expanded widget. All right, apply wallpaper is there and the download is there. So now we are done with the UI. Let's move over to the next thing that we have, which is to apply favorite items. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to our favorite screen. Let's quickly locate that. I'm going to create a provider. Let's call this provider.dat, right? So this is more like our provider. Okay, so I have like the abstract class that I want to use for this to just define the different things that we need. Okay, we have our favorite model. Why isn't it importing? So we need to like put our favorite model here. Okay, so as you can see, we have to like, we need to add to favorite, we need to delete from favorite, we need to retrieve favorite by ID, and that will be whenever users clicks on one image, okay, they should be able to. Okay, I think this video is getting long, so in the next video we are going to like implement the favorite logic.